everyone, it's your host Seth the Programmer, and with me today I have my good friend Chuck the Cyber Cuck, and we're going to be debunking a video why Superman is the strongest fucking hero of all time, right? The biggest Superman jack-off video I've ever seen in my life. Now, before you say, well, you guys are just some salty Dragon Ball tards, that's why you're debunking it. No, we're debunking it because it was requested. And okay, it doesn't even really shit on Dragon Ball. Like at the start of the video, he's like, "Oh, Superman beats Goku," like for no fucking reason. Like he just says it for no reason, and it doesn't say anything else about it. But he doesn't just shit on Dragon Ball; he shits on everything. Like he literally just
takes a shit on them.
He just like takes a fat, wet, explosive diarrhea all over fucking every franchise in existence, and just says Superman solos. Like you gotta debunk that. It doesn't matter what fucking fandom you're from. Even if you're a Superman fan, you shouldn't be okay with that. You know? So anyways, we're going to start this video up. We're going to be debunking it segment by segment. So hope you enjoy.
Now, given not all of you are going to agree with my answer, no matter what my answer is, because, well, we all have different opinions. Which is perfectly fine. I say it all the time, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. That's what makes talking about this stuff fun. Just don't be rude to each other in the comment section, because I want to keep Variant a community where everyone can state their own opinion without having someone cursing them out or being a douche.
There's a difference between disagreeing with an opinion and disagreeing with utter retardation. Okay? When you have 1 million fucking subscribers, and you say the stupidest shit, right? The most stupid, outlandish shit, people are going to get mad. Why? Because you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to be credible and have integrity on what you're talking about. A good example of this is Hayun's Dojo. They made Miriam versus Perfect Cell. Okay? Miriam is like, at best, fucking mountain level. You jack him off, right? And Cell is like, I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care if you don't think he's solar system or not. He's at least a planet buster, and he solos Hunter x Hunter. They just say this stupid shit for attention. That's why you cannot trust these bigger YouTubers. But regardless of that fact, regardless if he's just baiting us or being retarded or not, we're going to debunk it just in case, you know, some misinformed fucking man-child comes from his video and tries to talk shit to us.
Okay, and before people say, oh, we're going to be wanking Goku, we're not even going to bring him up. There's plenty of people that can shit stomp Superman. So many people. From Marvel, even DC, even someone else from like a different manga series, you're just as fucking ridiculous with like how OP this character is. Oh, just wait till we get to him, right? Yep. And so Superman is nowhere near the strongest superhero. But first off, we're going to be debunking some of the feats that he brings up, and he basically kind of like cuts off some sections of the scans and basically ignores the context of them and basically tries to spread wrong information.
It's like not okay that he's spreading misinformation about a series you enjoy. Like you shouldn't be okay with that regardless.
Okay, so first off, he talks about like how Superman, quote unquote, tanked the radiation, you know, from this, you know, like explosion that was supposed to be like a sun eater, right? Even though on the panel, on the same panel he showed, at the very bottom it says, right behind it was an expanding ball of radiation that would have incinerated Clark as soon as it touched him. So he didn't tank shit. He was running away. He was basically dipping like a guy, like when he didn't want to play his child support. He's like, I'm out of here. And the radiation wave was fucking like, reaching towards him. He just
bam,
dipped.
Right there.
Right? Basically wanks the feed that he held the black hole. Even though when it's like these other panels where he says, got it before it fully released, but the pressure is unbelievable. Not sure how long I can hold on. And then on the next panel, he's fucking crying, right?
Dude, it looks like he's taking a fat rod up his ass, dude. Like, please pull out, Dad. Like, okay. Dude went in with no lube.
Okay, and then, okay, here's the funny thing. Captain Atom even states that this black hole is like no larger than a speck of dust, right? And literally like the scan before it, right? Here's the best part, okay?
A normal black hole has about 3 times the mass of a star. Okay. This is a supermassive black hole can be like fucking consuming solar systems and possibly like small portions of a galaxy. But a normal black hole is 3 times the mass of a sun. But just imagine a black hole the size of like a fucking speck of dust. That would be nowhere near a normal black hole.
Okay, and here's the thing. So, like, this calculation basically says, right, when a huge star runs out of fuel, it collapses and then explodes into a supernova. What's left over is a massive but relatively small object called a black hole. To give you an idea of a black hole's density, the sun has a radius of 700,000 kilometers. A black hole that weighs as much as the sun would have a radius of 3 kilometers. If you could fill a typical pop can, 12 ounces, with the material in such a black hole, the can would weigh 7 trillion tons, almost as much as the weight of the water in Lake Superior. So obviously a can of pop is much larger than a speck of dust, right? So Superman is basically crying, right, over something that didn't weigh even close to a star.
How much?
Right?
How
let
many?
that sink in.
How many fucking grains of sand? A grain of sand is bigger than a speck of dust. How many grains of sand can you put in a pop can? A fuck ton. A fuck ton. Like, so this feat is really kind of pitiful.
You know, same post-guy Superman. He gets fucked over by a artificial black hole, right? Okay, and then he basically brings up his other feat that, you know, he basically sealed a hole in reality. Like, this is unquantifiable. You really can't like calculate this. But I mean, if he's trying to imply that he's like a reality warper, or, you know, that he can like fix all reality in the universe or whatever, I don't know where he's trying to go with this. But I mean, it's like me trying to claim that I'm house level because I fixed like a hole in the wall or something.
Fuck, dude. Janemba and Gotenks are OP as fuck by that logic.
Yeah, dude, you know, basically warping dimensions. Dude, holy shit, right?
Just with their fucking voice too.
Yeah, dude, crazy. So my first candidate that would completely shitstorm Superman and it would be Silver Surfer. Now, this guy's pretty insane because he has feats that are, you know, on a whole other level, right? So, remember how Superman was, you know, crying about holding a black hole? Silver Surfer can fight in a black hole that's much larger than a speck of dust. He could fucking fight in there, right? Let's see. Superman gets knocked out by a supernova, even though he derives off that radiation. Silver Surfer surfs supernovas for fun. He literally just fucking like gets on it on his board and just rides it. That's it. Like, he doesn't give a shit, right? And he can withstand the sun's heat, even though he doesn't even rely on solar radiation. Oh, what else could he do? Oh, yeah, he could completely absorb all of Superman's solar radiation as well if he really wanted to. Like, I mean, he drained the Hulk multiple times of gamma radiation. He could definitely do it to Superman, leave him like a little crippled fucking.
So what you're saying
human.
is that when Superman encounters an exploding star, it fucks him, even though that should be what powers him, you know, gives him strength. And then Silver Surfer, who has like no connection to the sun, is taking these exploding stars without flinching. I mean, just think about that, honestly.
Oh, yeah, let's see. What else can he do? Oh, yeah, he can manipulate energy from the Big Crunch, which is basically around the same power of the Big Bang. And he can manipulate that energy to kill people stronger than Skyfallers. May I remind you how strong Skyfallers are? They're basically able to fight on a multiversal scale like Odin did against Seth, right? He could, you know, destroy galaxies, all this shit. These guys are stronger than they are, and Silver Surfer could take hits from them, right? He's the best part. People try to claim that Superman can, like, destroy anyone because he can see souls. He has never shown that he can actually destroy people's souls. He can only see souls. Guess what? Silver Surfer can destroy people's souls. So Superman's pretty much fucked on that.
Fuck, dude. Bleach characters must be omnipotent.
Oh, yeah, clearly, dude.
They're all souls. Yeah, they must be omnipotent, dude.
Yeah, dude.
What about that time Goku saw souls and shit? That make him omnipotent, too?
Yeah, true, dude, yeah.
And there's, like, it's not even just, like, you know, comic characters that are fucking OP. I mean, there's a shit ton more. And, you know, you have God Spawn and all kinds of shit. Captain Atom, fucking Flash. I said Superman is only slightly fucking slower than Flash. Like, are you serious? Is this motherfucker serious when he said that?
Oh,
like,
okay.
Hold on.
Okay, yo. So here's how this calculation goes for one of Waldy's best speed feats. He had to save about 500,000 people from a nuclear blast, and he did this in about a 10,000th of a microsecond, right? Flash traveled a distance of 70 miles each time to carry a person, or sometimes two, so an average about 1.5. And that means he traveled a distance of 70 miles about 354,000 times. That brings up about 24 million miles. He does it in about 10,000 of a microsecond, which is about, 10 to the negative 11th power seconds, right? That means he was traveling about 2.5 quintillion miles per second. And that's approximately 13 trillion times the speed of light, which is pretty fucking insane. And who says the Flash is just limited to running really fast or going back in time? He can also basically phase out through people's bodies and take out their organs. And he can even steal people's kinetic energy to turn them into statues. Right? So if he was bloodlusted, he could really fuck up Superman. Dude, oh yeah, he also raised death, the entity of death, to the end of time and space. Right? Where he couldn't even exist on a conceptual level. They literally ran to the end of time in that universe. And he also fucked up Anti-Monitor, which, is basically like beyond a universal level being, especially in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So, I mean, it is completely ridiculous to imply that Superman has any species close to that of the Flash.
So what about the time Hercules lifted the fucking heavens and shit? Does that not mean anything? Is that not as impressive as lifting Earth? Lifting heaven is less than lifting Earth now.
And Atlas held it up for like a long fucking time.
And I know we're talking about heroes here, but you know that Atlas lifted Earth for all of eternity. He's just lifting the fucking Earth. He's not doing it for
lifted it since like since Earth was created, right? That's
like he's not just lifting it and like pissing his fucking pants after lifting it for a few days or whatever, or struggling, or saying it's even a challenge. It's his job. He just sits there lifting Earth. Like that's all he does. I mean, it's just not an impressive feat, man. There's other characters with better feats, no matter what you think. I mean, sure, it looks impressive, but I mean, you can't just say that's a better feat than most things in fiction, because fiction has some crazy shit in it, right? I mean, if you want to get technical, I mean, even if we're not bringing up, heroes, have you ever heard of Cthulhu? Have you ever heard of fucking Cthulhu? You can't even comprehend his existence. If you look at him, you will fucking go insane or die. That's it. You can't even look at the motherfucker or even comprehend him. How is Superman going to beat that? Like, how would you beat that? I'm just saying, man, it's just, you can't say a fucking character is stronger than all of fiction. It's stupid. In before Cthulhu religion, Cthulhu zealots attack my video.
The flying spaghetti monster.
The fucking Cthulhu mythos fucking gang starts attacking me, flagging my video.
Start requesting Cthulhu versus flying spaghetti monster in the comment section. Come on, guys, do it. I'm ready.
Cthulhu versus flying spaghetti monster, man. Who would win? Okay, so this is beautiful. This is some beautiful low tier debater action. This is some sweet hot low debater action right here. This is what they do. They argue with their pure fucking headcanon and try to act like it's a factual statement, right? So what he says is that no character, even if they have similar feats, is as great as Superman or as powerful as Superman because they don't exist for the same reason he does. They don't exist for as good of a reason.
That they lack existence in the first place.
Like they don't have a purpose.
I'm going to butt in real quick here, but I just find it really pathetic and fanboyish that VariantComics basically implies that, or actually outright says, that other characters' reason for existing is basically pale in comparison to what Superman is, right? And that basically their reason for existing or their importance or their values are basically nothing in comparison to Superman because he's overpowered, never meant to lose, and all this other shit, right? I mean, let's look at Jane Foster, one of my favorite Marvel characters. She has cancer, right? But even so, she fights with the power of Thor, right? The Mjolnir hammer deems her as worthy, and she fights with that power. Even though she knows it's killing her, and she even, acknowledges that, whenever she transforms into Thor, this is basically, nullifying and suppressing the effects that chemotherapy has done for her to fight cancer. But she deems it as her duty as a superheroine to fight for good and, her loved ones, even though it's killing her, right? So if someone has cancer themselves or they have a loved one who has cancer, they're going to be like, oh, wow, even a superheroine or a superhero that, can kick so much ass, can still be susceptible to, such a terrible disease, right? And they can still fight through it and struggle through it as a real person, right? That is a pretty strong, value or reason for existing, if you ask me. I don't see how Superman overshadows this, or any other character for that matter, that may have, these other really strong struggles or reasons for existing, right? You can't just shit on everyone else's characters because you deem Superman the strongest. That's just really, really pathetic.
But the thing is that if Superman existed to be the strongest, that he would never be beaten. He'd be like Saitama in his story. I'm not saying Saitama is unbeatable or whatever the fuck. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, whatever the fuck, right? Not getting into it. But if Superman was truly meant to be unbeatable and he was supposed to represent, fucking and being invincible, being like a god, he'd be like Saitama, who would just beat everybody. He would never lose.
And touching the tip of the iceberg here, okay, there's another character that can completely shitstomp Superman and maybe even the entire Justice League, all right? This guy's from this manga series called Bastard, right? And to, basically explain this to you in the simplest way, it's like Dragon Ball Z, but with calculations, gore, a bunch of nudity, and basically a bunch of cursing, right? It's fucking lit, right? They give you exact numbers for these feats.
It's a very lit ass manga. It's pretty lit.
This guy Dark Schneider, he's hell of OP, right? So basically, he has a shield called the Spellbound, which basically counters against anything imaginable, right? Reality warping, toxic gas, immortality, like anti-creation, like energy attacks, like blocking his energy, mind attacks, magic.
Let me sum this guy up for you. He threw infinite punches in an instant. How do you beat that? What the fuck were you gonna do? How are you gonna beat that? How is Superman gonna do that? You're saying Superman isn't as fast as the Flash and that he's slower than people, yet you're saying he could fucking beat up Dark Snyder? Hell no.
And then, okay, I'm not done yet. So like this guy, so you have to destroy every one of his shields, right? He probably has dozens of them, hundreds of them, right? You have to destroy every single shield, which can regenerate like faster light speeds, right? Just to damage him. And even if you damage him, he can regenerate, right? This fucker, like, he's regenerated from his head, right? Or like his freaking organs are flailing out. He can regenerate from it. He's laughing his ass off, right? Even if you kill him on a physical state, he'll just regenerate because you need to kill him on basically level. On the 3 planes of existence, which is basically like the soul and like the spirit and basically the physical body, right? Mm-hmm. So even if he destroys his physical body, even if Superman somehow destroys his physical body, he could just regenerate from his soul or his spirit or whatever, right? Yeah. and this guy has so many fucking hacks. So basically he has this attack called the Judas Priest, which basically destroys the Eternal Atoms, which the Eternal Atoms are basically like this concept within the series that, as I said, it's basically like, if a being has like these 3 planes of existence, right, and this attack destroys all like their spirit, their soul, and their physical body, right? So they can't come back at all ever. So it's kind of like similar to the Hakai technique that Beerus has, right?
And another thing is that Dark Snyder grows constantly stronger too in his fights.
He has this form called Majin, which basically multiplies his stats over 1,000,000 times. It's kind of like Patara. And I'm telling
he just fucking grows 1,000,000 times stronger, man. And he keeps growing stronger over time. Doesn't it keep stacking onto itself or some crazy shit?
Yeah, he basically keeps increasing like every time he uses it. And then he even has another form atop of Majin, which doesn't have as many feats, but it's implied to be like more powerful. So this guy has like these other attacks like such as Venom, which he basically destroys like people on an atomic level, right? He basically gets his bacteria from hell, right? He has this other attack called Led Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin, which can basically disintegrate people on an atomic level and then basically battlefield removal them to another dimension.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
And his whole argument is like, well, maybe if you have some similar stats as Superman. No, this isn't similar, motherfucker. Dark Snyder is shitting on him. Like, no difficulty. This is like Mixie fucking around with Superman. There's just no contest. In fact, it's worse. It might even be worse. Not gonna lie, because Dark Snyder's gonna be murdering him. He's not gonna be fucking with him. He's gonna kill him.
Oh, I mean, this guy's just OP, right? And I mean, it's just so many characters that can shit on Superman. It's not even like
Superman is just not the strongest fucking hero, man. There's reality warpers like Franklin Richard and all kinds of shit. We don't even need to get into that, man. It should just be common fucking sense. What is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with this man? I'll tell you what's wrong with this. What I said earlier. He's baiting. This is bait. We just bit his fucking bait, man. He doesn't really believe this shit. No one should. It's retarded. It's absolutely fucking lunacy, man. And then, at the end of the video, he tries to sweet talk you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he pulls out the whole, well, he's not the strongest hero. I was saying he was the strongest hero the entire video, but the last 30 seconds, I'm going to say he's not really, so that you won't get so triggered. That's what he fucking did.
Hey, it's basically what the BP oil spill did. Like, they basically like
he just pulled the BP
on the fucking Gulf, like on the fucking ocean. And then he's like, "I'm sorry." Like, he just gives you this message at the end. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
he basically tries to manipulate you, so you don't attack
in
him,
the same video. Like, what the fuck? He just contradicted his own video, man.
Like, he basically cucked down to himself.
He just cucked himself. He just gave me his fucking woman before I even talked about his video. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, guys, he's just a low-tier debater, man. Like, most of these comic guys, like Screw Attack, all of them are just fucking fodder. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, if you tell one of them to get in a fucking call with me and see how fast they're cucking down to me. I guarantee it. They would cuck. They'd give me their woman. I can fucking guarantee, or even Chuck. They'd cuck to him too. So, anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't listen to these motherfuckers, man. Watch them for entertainment only. Do not try to listen to anything they say as like fucking fact. Do not do that. Maybe if they're like giving you like a history lesson or something, you know what I'm saying? Like if they're just telling you some shit that happened in a story, whatever. But the second they try to power scale some shit, ignore it completely because they're going to say some dumbass shit. I guarantee it. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to me and Chuck. Subscribe to me. And other than that, till next time.
Peace out, dudes.